Did you know nearly 74% of men are having intimacy at the wrong time of day, and it's silently lowering their performance, satisfaction, and even testosterone levels? Science now confirms when you choose to be intimate can actually determine how strong, energetic, and connected you feel afterward. And no, it's not the time you think. As a urologist, I often see men focusing on how to perform, but almost no one talks about when. Yet timing, backed by hormonal science, may be one of the most overlooked secrets to better intimacy, stamina, and emotional connection. Here's what the science says. Your testosterone, the key hormone for desire, erection quality, and energy, follows a circadian rhythm. According to research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, testosterone peaks between 6 to 9 a.m., then gradually declines through the day. At the same time, cortisol, your body's stress hormone, drops after waking, making mornings a natural window where men feel more confident, focused, and physically ready. But that's not the full story. Studies in Chronobiology International and the Archives of Sexual Behavior also show that emotional bonding hormones like oxytocin and serotonin rise later in the day, which explains why some couples report higher satisfaction with evening intimacy. So yes, the best time of day for intimacy isn't one size fits all. It depends on your hormones, sleep cycle, and stress rhythm, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to find your ideal window. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Georgia Bennett, a urologist helping men decode science-backed strategies for better performance, energy, and longevity. So if you want to optimize your health the smart way, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss what truly works. The science of timing. Let's break this down scientifically, because the clock inside your body is doing much more than you think. Every single function, from your energy, focus, mood, to your sexual performance, runs on what's called your circadian rhythm. It's your body's natural 24-hour cycle that regulates hormones, temperature, and even blood flow. Now, when it comes to intimacy and male performance, two hormones take center stage, testosterone and cortisol, and both are tightly controlled by this rhythm. Morning, nature's hormonal sweet spot. When you wake up, your testosterone levels are at their highest point of the day. According to a 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, healthy men experience their peak testosterone between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., with levels up to 30% higher than in the evening. That surge isn't random. It's nature's built-in system designed for reproduction and vitality. This is why many men naturally wake up with what we call nocturnal penile tumescence, or in simple terms, morning erections. It's a direct reflection of robust hormone and vascular function. Higher testosterone in the morning means stronger libido, improved erection quality, better physical energy and focus, greater confidence. That's also when cortisol, your body's stress hormone, is dropping from its early morning spike. When cortisol is high, it suppresses testosterone. So as it dips mid-morning, your hormonal balance becomes ideal for performance and mood. So, scientifically, the morning isn't just convenient, it's biologically optimized for intimacy. Evening, when connection peaks. But, and this is important, testosterone alone doesn't define great intimacy. While morning gives you the hormonal advantage, evening brings a different kind of edge, emotional connection. Research from Chronobiology International shows that oxytocin and serotonin, the bonding and happiness chemicals, tend to rise in the evening, especially after a long day of shared experiences or relaxation. That's why, for many couples, nighttime feels more emotionally intimate, even if physical energy is lower. Also, studies published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that men who engage in evening intimacy often experience better sleep quality afterward due to elevated oxytocin and decreased cortisol. In simple terms, the body shifts from stress mode to relax and recover mode. So, while morning intimacy boosts performance and energy, evening intimacy may enhance emotional closeness, relaxation, and sleep. The testosterone-cortisol tug-of-war. Here's what most men don't realize. Testosterone and cortisol are in constant competition. When cortisol spikes from work pressure, poor sleep, or emotional stress, it directly suppresses testosterone production in the Leydig cells of the testes. That's why men who are chronically stressed or sleep deprived often notice lower libido and inconsistent performance. The Journal of Sexual Medicine published data showing that men with irregular sleep or high stress had up to 20 to 25% lower testosterone levels compared to those with stable sleep and stress control. So, your timing for intimacy isn't just about the clock, it's about when your hormones are actually cooperating. The circadian connection. Think of your circadian rhythm as a performance meter. If you align intimacy with your body's natural hormonal peak, you maximize both physiological and emotional benefits. Morning favors testosterone-driven passion and stamina. Evening favors oxytocin-driven connection and calmness. Understanding this cycle allows you to choose not just the best time of day, but the right time for your relationship, your work schedule, and your body's rhythm. So, before we move to the next section, remember this. Your body already knows when it performs best. You just need to listen to its clock, because timing truly is everything. Why morning intimacy might be optimal. If there's one thing decades of endocrinology and urology research agree on, it's this. Morning intimacy is biologically stacked in your favor. Let's break down exactly why. Because it's not just about having more energy after waking up. It's about aligning with your hormonal architecture, the body's perfect chemistry set that peaks right after dawn. 1. Testosterone peaks, the natural performance enhancer. Every morning, your body releases a surge of luteinizing hormone, LH, which stimulates the testes to produce testosterone. According to the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, testosterone levels between 6 and 9 a.m. are typically 25 to 30% higher than at any other time of day. That means stronger libido, firmer erections, and a more confident, energized mood. This isn't just theory, it's visible biology. Morning erections are your body's performance check. They confirm that blood flow, nerve function, and testosterone are all in sync. When you align intimacy with this natural hormonal peak, you're essentially using your body's built-in advantage, not fighting against it. Think of it like catching a wave at the perfect moment. 2. The energy edge and better oxygenation. Morning intimacy doesn't just feel better, it functions better. Your cardiovascular system is more active in the early part of the day, and oxygen saturation is higher due to deeper, more restorative sleep phases. A 2015 study in the American Journal of Physiology found that vascular responsiveness and nitric oxide activity, the key factors for erectile performance, are strongest within the first few hours after waking. So, biologically, your body is primed for optimal blood flow. And because testosterone enhances nitric oxide release, you get a double effect: stronger performance and longer endurance. 3. Mood, confidence, and partner connection. The psychological component is just as important as the physical. Morning intimacy releases a powerful mix of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, setting a positive emotional tone for the entire day. In a study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, couples who engaged in morning intimacy reported higher day-long satisfaction, reduced stress, and improved partner communication. That's because early intimacy stabilizes the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and recover mode, which helps regulate mood, patience, and motivation throughout the day. Simply put, you start the day not just energized, but bonded. 4. Immune and metabolic benefits. Here's something most men never hear. Morning intimacy can actually strengthen your immune system. A Wilkes University study found that regular sexual activity increased levels of immunoglobulin A, IgA, an antibody that helps your body defend against viruses and bacteria. Additionally, because testosterone and growth hormone are higher in the morning, intimacy can support better metabolic balance and even mild calorie burn, roughly the same as a light workout session. So, it's not just pleasure, it's preventative medicine. 5. Better sleep-wake alignment. Finally, aligning intimacy with the morning light helps stabilize your circadian rhythm. When you engage sexually in the morning, your brain gets a natural dopamine boost while cortisol levels gently decline, signaling your body that it's time to start the day alert, focused, and hormonally balanced. Evening intimacy, while emotionally fulfilling, sometimes disrupts sleep cycles due to increased core temperature and delayed melatonin release. Morning intimacy avoids that entirely. Bottom line, morning intimacy isn't just about convenience, it's biochemical optimization. You're working with your body's natural surge of testosterone, vascular responsiveness, and brain chemistry. That's why many urologists, including myself, consider morning intimacy to be the most scientifically supported window for peak male performance and satisfaction. So, before you rush into your day, remember, your hormones already planned your best performance window. You just need to use it. The evening advantage for some men. Now, even though science gives the morning a clear hormonal advantage, that doesn't mean the evening can't be your best time. In fact, for many men, especially those managing stress, families, or demanding workdays, nighttime intimacy can be more emotionally fulfilling, more relaxing, and even better for their relationship. Let's look at why. 1. The psychological reset. After a long day, your brain begins to shift gears. Cortisol, your body's stress hormone, finally starts to taper off, and the nervous system transitions into parasympathetic mode, the state of relaxation, recovery, and bonding. This shift is powerful. Studies published in Psychoneuroendocrinology show that men who experience consistent evening relaxation, whether through mindfulness, affection, or intimacy, have significantly lower nighttime cortisol levels and improve testosterone recovery overnight. That's right, even though testosterone is highest in the morning, your body refuels it during sleep, and calm, positive intimacy at night enhances that recovery cycle. So if your evenings are when your mind feels clear and connected, that's not wrong. It's actually biologically supported. 2. The oxytocin surge, connection over competition. Unlike morning intimacy, which is often fueled by performance hormones, nighttime intimacy leans more into connection hormones, mainly oxytocin and serotonin. A 2019 study in the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that oxytocin levels in both men and women peak higher after evening intimacy compared to morning sessions. This neurochemical is what strengthens pair bonding, empathy, and emotional closeness. In simple terms, morning intimacy sharpens your edge, evening intimacy softens it, and both have value. Oxytocin reduces anxiety, improves mood, and even enhances sleep quality. That's why couples who connect physically or emotionally before bed tend to report better relationship satisfaction and deeper, more restful sleep, according to the Sleep Research Society Journal. 3. Better sleep and recovery. Let's talk about sleep, one of the biggest performance enhancers most men ignore. Post-intimacy, your body releases prolactin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and drowsiness. Combine that with oxytocin's calming effect, and you get a natural sedative that helps you fall asleep faster and reach deeper restorative stages. A study in Frontiers in Public Health found that men who had evening intimacy before sleep reported improved sleep efficiency by up to 20% compared to those who didn't. This matters because deeper sleep means higher growth hormone release, better testosterone recovery, and more energy the next day. So, while morning intimacy boosts your day, evening intimacy enhances your night, and both contribute to your overall hormonal health. 4. The chronotype factor. Your chronotype, basically whether you're a morning or night person, also influences your best timing. If you're naturally alert and energized later in the day, your hormonal and neurological peaks may align differently than the average man. Research from Chronobiology International suggests that night owls maintain higher evening testosterone levels and delayed cortisol drops, meaning their best performance window could actually shift into the evening hours. That's why comparing your timing to someone else's never works. Your internal clock is unique. Bottom line, for men with high stress, irregular sleep, or late chronotypes, evening intimacy might be the perfect time to decompress, connect, and restore hormonal balance. Morning gives you the performance advantage, but evening gives you the emotional and recovery advantage, and both matter for a fulfilling, sustainable, intimate life. So instead of thinking morning versus night, ask yourself, when do I feel calm, connected, and confident? Because that's your real best time, and your body will thank you for listening. Personalization. Your best time depends on this. If there's one takeaway I want you to remember from this video, it's this. There's no single, perfect hour that works for every man. Because your body, your hormones, stress patterns, and sleep rhythm are as unique as your fingerprints. What matters most is learning to synchronize intimacy with your own biology. Let's unpack exactly how you can do that. 1. Understand your chronotype. Every man has a natural rhythm called a chronotype, basically your internal timing preference. Are you a morning lion or a night owl? Researchers from Chronobiology International identified 3 major chronotypes. Morning type, lions, peak alertness early in the day, testosterone spikes earlier. Evening type, owls, peak alertness and energy later, testosterone peaks slightly delayed. Intermediate type, bears, a balanced rhythm between both. In other words, your genetic wiring determines when you're naturally most energized, focused, and hormonally active. If you're forcing yourself into morning intimacy but feel foggy or tense, you might be going against your biological grain. But if you wake up motivated, confident, and ready, morning may be your sweet spot. The key is to listen to your energy curve, not social norms. 2. Fix your sleep, because it fixes your timing. Here's where most men go wrong. They ask, what's the best time for intimacy, but ignore that their sleep dictates everything. A 2019 study from the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, found that men who sleep less than 5 hours a night had 15% lower testosterone levels than those sleeping 7 to 8 hours. Why does that matter? Because poor sleep delays your hormonal rhythm. Instead of peaking in the morning, testosterone and cortisol flatten out, meaning your drive and energy feel unpredictable. So before adjusting your intimacy schedule, make sure you're getting deep, consistent sleep. That alone can restore your natural peaks and help you rediscover when you truly feel your best. 3. Track your energy and desire patterns. If you want to take a science-based approach, try this simple method. For 1 week, track your daily energy, mood, and libido. Rate each from 1 to 10 in the morning, afternoon, and evening. You'll start to see a pattern. When your mood, focus, and desire line up, that's your body signaling its ideal window. You can even use wearable devices that measure heart rate variability or sleep quality. Research in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that higher morning HRV, heart rate variability, was linked with improved erectile performance and sexual satisfaction. Translation: when your body's relaxed and recovered, you perform better regardless of time of day. 4. Adapt to your lifestyle, not just your hormones. Science gives you the data, but real life sets the schedule. For some men, early mornings mean kids, work pressure, or zero privacy. For others, nighttime means exhaustion or poor sleep afterward. So instead of chasing the scientifically perfect time, aim for the personally sustainable one, where you feel rested, connected, and free of distraction. Because intimacy isn't a performance test. It's a biological and emotional partnership, and the best results come when both align. Bottom line, morning intimacy might boost your hormones. Evening intimacy might boost your connection. But your best time depends on how your body feels, your stress cycle, and how well you recover. Once you start aligning intimacy with your natural rhythm, you'll notice something remarkable. Better performance, deeper connection, and a renewed sense of confidence. Because when you work with your body's timing instead of against it, you unlock your real potential. So here's the truth, gentlemen. The best time of day for intimacy isn't about what the internet says or what your friends prefer. It's about what your body is trying to tell you. When you understand your hormones, your sleep rhythm, and your stress patterns, you realize that timing isn't random, it's biological strategy. If you're a morning performer, you're working with your body's natural testosterone surge. You'll likely experience stronger desire, firmer performance, and a sharper mental edge. You start your day with a confidence boost, an oxytocin rush, and a sense of calm focus that stays with you for hours. Morning intimacy is nature's version of a reset button. It sharpens your physiology and strengthens your bond before the world even begins demanding your energy. If you're an evening connector, you're leveraging the power of relaxation, emotional closeness, and recovery. Your body is winding down, your stress hormones are dropping, and oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises to enhance connection and ease. Evening intimacy can deepen your relationship, improve sleep quality, and promote hormonal recovery overnight. It's less about performance and more about presence. And if you're somewhere in between, you're actually in the majority. Most men fall in the intermediate group, meaning your optimal window might shift depending on your sleep, stress, and schedule. That's perfectly fine. The key is consistency, aligning with your natural rhythm as often as possible. Because when your timing matches your biology, you'll notice more consistent performance, higher satisfaction for both partners, better mood, sleep, and energy the next day. Your takeaway as a man: think of intimacy as a mirror of your overall health. If you're tired, stressed, or inconsistent, it's often your body's signal that your hormones, sleep, or recovery need attention. So instead of asking, "What time should I do it?" ask, "When do I feel most alive, relaxed, and connected?" That's your answer. That's your science-backed best time. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube this kind of men's health content matters. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and join thousands of men who are transforming their health the smart way. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not replace personalized medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider or urologist for any individual concerns regarding sexual health, hormones, or performance. Remember, timing isn't luck, it's biology. And when you understand your body's rhythm, you stop guessing and start performing at your best naturally.